Hey, it's me and Phoebe. If you can see Phoebe over my shoulder. Hey, Phoebe, say hi. No, she's not going to say hi, but she's right there. Anyway, just wanted to drop a quick video, let you know that, hey, I'm doing pretty good. So far, so good. The surgery went well. That was like 6 weeks ago on October 10th. I had my vertical sleeve gastrectomy, or VSG. They removed around 80 to 85% of my existing stomach. Which is interesting because it removed all of like the hunger hormones. It's called ghrelin, and so far it's working good. I'm not hungry. I still have like this mental hunger. It's not even really mental hunger. It's more. It is mental hunger actually. It's more of a texture, of like, the stuff I want to eat. Because I used to eat, I'm not gonna lie, I used to eat a lot of food. That's how I got up to 600 pounds. I ate a lot of food, so it's like the volume of it. I find that since I used to eat such a voluminous amount of food, I used to just plow it down, eat it really fast. So now when I'm having my meals, it's like a container of cottage cheese. Usually I'd eat that down to maybe like three spoonfuls. Just big 3 spoonfuls. And but now it's like if I do that, it's it's not good. First of all, it's not gonna get masticated in the mouth. Chewed up well enough to to be broken down by the GI. But so it's it's slow going, still eating slow going. I'm still trying to teach myself, like yesterday, I made I cooked chicken cutlets last weekend for lunch for Amy, but we had some left over, and they're it's soft enough to where I can chew it really good and swallow it. But like if it was a couple years ago, or if it was pre-surgery, I could eat 3 of those chicken cutlets in no time. But like yesterday, I made one for myself, and I made it like at 11 o'clock, I think, in the morning, and I could only eat a third of it. I mean, it wasn't that big. It was like probably like that big. Maybe I weighed it. It was like 4.5 ounces. That's with I had sauce on there and some cheese. So I ate probably a third of it for, like, I guess my breakfast, if you would, because I didn't get up until like 10:30 or so. Then at about 5 o'clock, I had like my lunch, you would say. Ate another third of it, and then the last third I ate last night after during the Rangers and Devils game. So, but I also had 2 protein shakes in the day. So it's kind of trying to train myself to slow down and enjoy it, because I've always been a fast eater. Part of the reason why I got into the situation I am, because my body didn't have enough time to react to to trigger the satiation hormone saying, hey, you've had enough. So, but I would never, I was like overriding it, so I would just plow stuff down, and it wouldn't I wouldn't register as full. But now it's like every bite, I'm pretty good for like 2 to 3 ounces. Then if I try to go over that, my body tells me. So that's one good thing about having the surgery, and one bad thing about having the surgery. I mean, there's laundry list of both, but the best thing about it is my body will tell me if my body is the ultimate I guess what you'd say is the ultimate bullshit detector right now. Because if I have too much of something, I'll vomit. It happens, So like I think I'll use the word regurgitate. I think I've had 4 or 5 regurgitations. First 2 were because of vitamins. I have chewable vitamins. Pre-surgery, I could tolerate all of my vitamins on an empty stomach, everything. So I take my supplements. I just take half my supplements, or as they call stacks, my AM stack in the morning, and then my PM stack at night, obviously. And I could tolerate that on pretty much just water, or a little bit of almond milk. But my new supplementation is different, but I'm actually building back to it. But I was taking these chewable vitamins, and they really disrupt my stomach. I took one and I literally, it was just wild. I mean, usually vomiting is the worst thing in the world. It is. It's like the worst feeling. But like with this VSG, its stomach's so small, so it's like nothing. It's like almost like a hiccup. But I'm not saying it's good. But so I had 2 regurgitations because I took my vitamins on an empty stomach. The second time I got a little too cocky, and I was eating cottage cheese at night, and my stomach did not like it. I put a little bit of Romano cheese on it. I think that's what did it to me, and that got me. And then the second time I had it was I ate some grilled chicken before I was ready to. That got me, and then there was a third time. I don't remember it, but but anyway, so your body will tell you when you're screwing up. It will tell you. It'll give you the checks and balances. So it's really a you're learning through attrition, if you will. So that's one thing I got to keep my mind in tune. So I'm trying to listen to how my body feels, with eating and stuff. Like with drinking still, like before, like when I was drinking like my water, they said take like an ounce every 15 minutes. For me, that was almost impossible. I mean, I can't, for me, it's like, I'm going to set a timer every 15 minutes. No, it's not going to happen. So what I started doing at the beginning, after like I got out of the hospital, I was in the hospital for like 1.5 days. And so I started doing is I just, sip water, let it settle, let it go for like 2 or 3 minutes, then sip more, just sipping while tolerating, but allowing it to go through the swollen, the stomach and everything. Cause it's, my stomach went through tremendous trauma, with that surgery and healing. And, and it's getting better over time. So like right now I can drink about 30 ounces of water in an hour now. So that's 17 ounce, the 17 ounce bottle of water, and like the 11 ounces of protein. I can drink that in an hour pretty easily. And then, so that's like one meal for me right now. And then, drink. So it's, I can handle that in about an hour, which is better than before, because I couldn't have got all this down in one day, post surgery. Anyway, so I'm just thankful that I had the forethought of being motivated pre-surgery to start watching what I eat, and supplementing before the surgery, and getting into intermittent fasting and some extended fasting. It's really helped prepare me for the surgery. Still, if you can't prepare enough for the surgery, you can't, because I literally was so goddamn miserable the first day. I was really regretting it, and no, I still regret it. And I'm sure if everyone who gets the bariatric surgery, they regret it. But I think it's because of it's a forced change. Granted that it was my decision to get the surgery done. I'm glad I got the surgery done, because I could tell I am feeling lighter. I'm feeling better. I can do a lot more. Just like last week, I was, if you saw my Instagram, I was leaf blowing. And a couple years ago, I started doing that. It'd take me 6 hours to do, just the front yard and the driveway. And, because, it's 600 pounds, for God's sakes. You can't move that much, when you're 600 pounds. But now it's like I blew the whole front yard, and I got that done in like 15 minutes. Not even 15 minutes, like maybe 10 minutes. It was pretty great. And then the rest of the driveway and everything, it took me about 2 hours total. I mean, I took my time. I'm still, when I weighed in last week, I was 417. So, granted, you're going from 600 pounds to 417. It's literally night and day. I haven't felt this good in 20 years, so I just can't wait to see where I'm at in 6 more months. I'm kind of babbling right now, but I have my 6-week appointment on Tuesday with my surgeon and nutritionist. I'm really excited that I'm healing up more and I'm able to get back to supplementation, because that's the thing that really, it sounds weird, but it's one thing I really attribute to my successfulness of losing weight pre-surgery. So I'll share my supplementation later on when I do another video. But I really find that helping out, and I'm glad that I can get back to it. And I really can't wait until I can get the thumbs up to go back to keto diet or low carb. Well, I'm on a low carb diet now, but to go get approval to go back to intermittent fasting, because I've never felt better in my life other than intermittent fasting. So it just makes you feel so good, and there's so many benefits from it. But there's also drawbacks. There's a million opinions on both sides, but I'm choosing the positive on it, because you know what, the results are, it made me feel good and I lost weight using intermittent fasting. So whatever works for you, find it. It worked for me. Doing keto diet, higher protein, higher fat, low carb, worked for me. I was able to eat eat eggs and cheese for breakfast and have a couple burger patties for lunch, and I wasn't hungry. I really haven't been hungry ever since I started the keto diet. And it doesn't work for everybody, but for me it worked. And all the drawbacks you get, the negative comments you get, oh, you're going to get keto breath, oh, you're going to get your blood chemistry is going to be all screwed up. My blood chemistry is almost perfect right now. Literally before for example, my vitamin D level in my blood over a year ago was at like 18. I started supplementing. My D level was like 58 from supplementation and eating for health, for the results you need. And again, there's a million different opinions, a million different things that people are successful. We're all unique creatures in that sense. We all have different needs. Our bodies have different needs. So I found a path for me, and it's changed over the last year. It's changed. So, and I can't wait to keep exploring where I'm going. I'm kind of impatient, because I'd like to have all this excess weight gone today, but it's not going to happen. It took me 13 years to gain 200 pounds. And I've already lost pretty much that 200 pounds in fucking a year and a half, since May of last year. So what is that? I'm not going to do the math. You do the math. So, let's say 2 years, roughly 2 years. I lost all the weight I gained the last 13 years. I lost it in 2 years. Because the lowest I weighed was 405, and I think that was 2012, 2010. Is when the first time I was going to get the bariatric surgery, and when I lived in Connecticut. I was working out really good. Then I weighed at 487 and I got down to 405. And the reason I quit, because the doctor said you had to be at 400 by this date, and I didn't get there. So I felt like I failed, not realizing that I was being a dumbass, because realistically, the doctors, they want you to put an effort. They want you to lose weight. They don't want you to gain weight. And even with the doctor here, I weighed at 507 at one appointment. He goes, you need to lose 25 pounds. By that surgery date, I lost 50 pounds. He still couldn't do the entire surgery that I was going to get, but he did half the surgery. And we'll see where we go with this VSG. And I've already lost around 28% of my excess weight. So that's pretty goddamn good. Since July, I've lost over 28% of my excess body weight. just let that, let that sink in. It's like 8 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago. Losing weight for me has, and I really couldn't tell, because people don't really give me feedback. I don't really get too much feedback from anybody. And so I always felt like, I'm just this fat piece of shit loser, and, nothing's going right my way. But something came to my head. So I just weighed a 5-gallon water barrel that we get delivered, and it was like 36 pounds or 43 pounds, I think it was. So I stood on the scale and I held it, and I was like, holy shit, this is what I weighed in July of this year. Then I picked up another one and I said, wow, this is what I weighed in July of 2022. Then if I picked up a third one, that was how much I weighed in May of 2022. So I lost 15 gallons of water, the weight of that, in, from May of 2022 to July of 2023. That's pretty goddamn amazing. And I've lost another maybe 2 water jugs like that since, well, maybe one more since then. So I've lost 20 gallons of water weighs in those big plastic 5-gallon jugs in about 2 years. That's an achievement. I wish I thought better of myself to really, really celebrate that for myself. But anyway, I feel positive. And what's funny is the negativity in me, I'm trying to let it go. It's hard, because it's been what Dexter would say, it's been my dark passenger, so that's about it. I don't want to ramble anymore. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.